For my second whiskey of the night, I have here something called 40 Creek Resolve. Now, I think 40 Creek have been getting a little cheap lately because they used to have a box on these fancy highfalutin bottles, but there is no box. There's just the bottle, and that's how it comes, or that's how it came at the 2020 BC Liquor Store Premium Spirits release. Now, I'm going to pour a dram of this and read what's on the bottle, and then I'll tell you what I think of. Where's the pull tab? Where is this pull tab? Oy. Oh. Is that it? No, that's not it. Is that it? Oh my goodness. Do I have to whittle away at this? I think I got it now. I got some of it, but not all of it. Whittle away some more. You used to have this toy or item called Whittle Away. Remember that one? You used to advertise it when they had the Saturday morning cartoons, and you know, when you're whittling on a stick, and if you whittle away at this, you would get some sort of little statue that was inside the Whittle Away package. And I was just reminded of Whittle Away when I tried to open this. Whittling's fun with Whittle Away. You remember that? That's going back about 45 years. A mere blink of an eye in the grand scheme of things. Whittling's fun with Whittle Away. Maybe I should have been a country singer. Talk about non sequiturs and digressions. I have some water. I also have the remnants of my World Whiskey and Tonic. You know, that's not terrible at all. That'd be great for the summer. Couple of little ice cubes in there. But I digress. Or I non sequitur. Here we go. 40 Creek 2020 Resolve. Limited edition. Fine print. This exquisitely crafted Canadian whiskey is barrel aged in charred oak with the addition of high spice staves and vintage starboard wine. Is that right? That's what it says, starboard wine. Established in 1992, lot number 014, bottle number 2497, 43% alcohol by volume, 40 Creek Distillery, Canada, 750 mils. On the back is not much. 40 Creek Distillery, Grimsby, Ontario, yes. 43%, please enjoy responsibly. Return for a refund where applicable. And that's all you get. It doesn't even have a fancy box. Now, if you look up there, no, that's writers. Victory would be about there. Or is that at the edge? That is at the edge of the picture. There was a victory right about there, if I recall. on my wall. Let's make it a little cozy again. There we are. All right. Yeah, that's how I like it. Yeah, I got water. Forty Creek Resolve. Victory was last year's, or 2019. This is 2020, but we're in 2021. Yeah, I know I'm kind of slow at getting these things together, but so sue me. 40 Creek Resolve, $81.99. So 4.1, that's $4.10 for goods and services tax, plus 8.2, that would be $8.20 liquor tax, plus 10-cent bottle deposit, plus that's a whole 12.4, plus the $81.99. 94 Canadian dollars and 39 Canadian cents out the door. Not cheap. Definitely not cheap. I think I spent something like $1,800 at this premium spirits release from 2020. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I got 13 bottles. So we're talking almost $150 average. Okay, I had a couple of those bottles that were real expensive. You can probably guess what they were. Yes, and I will be posting videos about them too. This smells like okay. There's corn. There's definitely some corn sweetness here. Like most Canadian whiskeys will have that corn sweetness. There's also a little bit of rice spice, but it's not too much rice spice. I get caramel, butterscotch, and rice spice. Ooh. Yeah. Caramel and rice spice. Not a lot of fruit. No fruit to speak of. Just caramel and rice spice. The caramel is rich from what I'm getting here. Caramel toffee. Rich caramel and toffee. And rice spice. There's a spiciness to it. But it doesn't come across like mint or dill like it would in an American whiskey. For some reason, when you blend it separately, as they do at 40 Creek, as they do in Canada for the most part, you don't come across with that mint or dill note that you would in an American rye or bourbon, which was a mixed mash to begin with. Well, you know, now that I mention it, maybe it's the power of suggestion, there's a slight, just slight, very slight mintiness to it. But you could miss it if you were not looking for it. On the palate. Oh. Oh. It has a viscous, thick mouthfeel, and the caramel is up front. Here's the caramel, boom, right up front. Little bit of corn sweetness, but the caramel is what dominates. Now, in the finish, there's a little bit of molasses and it's gone. It's all gone. It's just dry. Let's try and cleanse the palate once again. And do it again. It's a funny thing with 40 Creek, you know, they have these fancy annual releases. Every year they have a fancy annual release. And it doesn't come out as enjoyable to me as the Copper Pot, which usually costs half the price or less. So, I don't know. What is it with 40 Creek? Oh, that's right. It belongs to a large international company. What was it? Pernod Ricard? One of those big companies. And it's not a small distillery anymore, and it's not just producing handcrafted. Although this is quite exclusive. This is, you know what I'm getting right now? On the nose. Now that I'm coming back to it after having had a sip. I'm reminded of waffles. I'm reminded particularly of the waffle syrup. Now, what did they call it? Was it Aunt Jemima, or was it? What are the brands of syrup that you put on your waffles? This reminds me of waffle syrup. What was it called? Was it called Old Time, or was it called? You know, that corn syrup that you put on your waffles in the morning for breakfast. I haven't had waffles in several years, and I haven't had any of that syrup that you put on your waffles. But this knows, this corn and molasses, whatever it is, this takes me right back to the syrup that was put on the waffles when I was a kid. We're going back 50 years here. This is just, what was it in it? The bottle had a little crown on it. I think the cap was a crown. Oh, I wish I remembered. But this smells just like that syrup that my mother put on our waffles when I was a little kid. Takes me right back. Wow. There's that corn and the sweetness and the molasses or whatever was in that corn syrup. That's it. It was a corn syrup. I don't remember what brand it was. I wish I remembered, but I don't. It's been so long since I've had waffles or corn syrup on the waffles. But this smells identical to that syrup. But I'm going on endlessly, am I not? Let's give this another taste. You know, this even tastes like that corn syrup that my mother put on my waffles when I was a wee lad. When I was 6 or 7 years old and we had waffles and we'd put some corn syrup on it. I can almost picture the bottle, but I don't remember the name. It was a corn syrup or a waffle syrup or wow. And it does have that thick, somewhat thick mouthfeel. What does it do in the legs department? Just out of curiosity. I think I told you what this cost already. Quite a lot, wasn't it? Did I say about $94 Canadian? Well, it has legs and knows how to use them. They're nice and thick. Thick legs. Yeah. Huh. 43%. And it tastes just like that syrup that was put on the waffles when I was a kid. Is it worth $94 Canadian or $72 American? Maybe. Maybe. I don't think I'd be reaching for this every day. I'd be reaching for the copper pot over this anytime. It's all right, but these annual releases from 40 Creek are less and less interesting every year that goes by, and I keep buying them just because, it's like a tradition. This is not bad. It's just not worth the money. And I prefer the copper pot, and it's like less than half the price. Cheers.
Food Quick.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food Quick.
Food quick.
Yeah.